I'll be your master of ceremonies for the 2020 Coppin State University Athletic Hall of Fame breakfast. We thank you so much for joining us. Welcome back on this homecoming weekend. And we're going to get underway right away. We're going to have some greetings, someone to greet you. It'll be the interim president of Coppin State University, Dr. Mickey Burnham.
For a great looking crowd this morning, wonderful day. I know that we are in for a delightful period of reunions, celebrations, and we'll cap off the day with two wonderful victories this afternoon. As was pointed out, I'm Mickey Burnham, and it has been my pleasure to serve as interim president of Coppin State University since July 1st. So I'm relatively new on the campus, learning my way around, but I have come to feel like I'm really part of the Coppin State family. I have met a lot of faculty and staff who are committed to the mission of Coppin State University. Met some delightful students, some of them student athletes, and I know that this university is a wonderful gem right here in Baltimore and in West Baltimore. I know that it has a rich history, and the story that I'm sharing with those who I have a chance to talk to is that it has a wonderfully bright future. I'd like to congratulate those who are being inducted into the Hall of Fame today. That is a significant honor, and I look forward to hearing a bit about your accomplishments and the things that have led to this induction for you today. But most of all, I simply want to urge all of you to enjoy this homecoming experience today and to remember that this homecoming is special because it comes in the year of Coppin State University's centennial, 120 years of providing educational services to Maryland, country, and the world. So congratulations. It's good to be with you this morning. Enjoy the day.
Thank you very much, Dr. Burnham. And now, just before we partake of our breakfast this morning, we have the invocation. Mr. Devin Rivero Osuna, member of the Coppin State University baseball team, class of 2019.
Good morning, everyone. Will you please bow your heads with me? Let us pray silently together, each one of us, according to our individual beliefs. Let us offer thanks for our food and the blessings of fellowship around us. Let us be a source of hope for those in need and contentment for those who are lonely. Let us give gratitude for all good and beautiful with which our lives are filled, and we give our thanks today. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, David. Appreciate it. 92, it was named in 1990-91 MEAC Coach of the Year and MEAC Tournament Most Outstanding Coach. The 1990-91 Eagles were the first Coppin State women's basketball team to have a winning season and to win the MEAC Tournament. But at the time, the MEAC champions did not receive an automatic bid to the NCAA Tournament. This coach coached 1 Black College Sports All-American, Thelma Lyles, 6 All-MEAC players, including Thelma Lyles, Regina Nolan, Pamela Pratt, Yvette Larkins, Faye McCallum, and LaShawn Scott, and 4 MEAC All-Rookie selections, Yvette Larkins, LaShawn Scott, Therese Hatch, and Renee Doctor. He later served as Assistant Athletic Director here at Coppin. He's being presented today by Mr. Sean Corbin. Our next inductee, Mr. Doug Robertson. Woo!
Douglas, thank you. And the Coppin State University Athletic Hall of Fame Class 2020 committee members for giving me the great honor of introducing you into the Coppin State Athletic Hall of Fame Class of 2020. Good morning, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure it's a great honor and a dream of every athlete to someday be introduced to the alma mater Hall of Fame. Today, I'm introducing the well-known Coach Douglas Robinson, class of 2020 Hall of Fame. I am Sean Corbin. We have known each other for over 50 years, and he has been a very important part of my life. Doug is like a father to me. I met him at the age of 5 while attending a Coppin State Eagles basketball game. Afterwards, we spent endless hours bonding. He has played a significant role in my life in helping me to become the successful man I am today. And he has continued to be an intricate part in the life of my family, especially my son, Kyle, who he lovingly calls Poppy. Family is such an important part of our lives, and Doug has always been there for me, my wife Michelle, my son, and we are forever thankful. After serving in the military, Douglas Robinson enrolled in Coppin, known as Coppin State, and was a student athlete from 1970 to 1974. While at Coppin, he was known as an outstanding student athlete. After graduation, he went on with his professional life and became an assistant athletic director at Coppin State University. Doug later became the head basketball coach of the Lady Eagles women's basketball team from 1987 to 1992. Doug was named the 1990-1991 MEAC Outstanding Coach of the Year, and his Lady Eagles, the 1990-91 women's basketball team, was introduced into the 2015 Coppin State Athletic Hall of Fame. He was so proud because they were the first team to ever win an MEAC championship for the school. I'm so happy to be a part of this great celebration for him today. So now, it's with great honor as I proudly introduce to all of you in attendance today, the man who is so important to me. He's Coppin's very own number 15. That's what he said his number was. And my fellow alumni, Coppin State University Athletic Hall of Famer, class of 2020, Coach Douglas Robinson, Sr.
Years here, the second home of my life. First, I want to thank Sean for the 1-point shot. And now I would like to thank Athletic Director Derek Carter for annual Hall of Fame committee selecting. For selecting, we start.
Take your time, Coach. All right.
Go again. I would like to thank Athletic Director Derek Carter and the Hall of Fame Committee for selecting me to be inducted in 2020 Coppin State College University Hall of Fame. Thank you, Jim. And I also would like to congratulate the other inductees. But before I start this, I would like to take this honor to the Hall of Famers that are here, has been inducted into the Hall of Fame, like Winky, who was on the first team that played in Coppin State College. Could you stand, please? Warren Heyman, who played. I appreciate you guys, and I love you for everything you did. Today, I want to say welcome everyone to the Breakfast of Champions. At this time, I'd like to have a roll call for the brothers who are no longer here. That helped, made me, and I played with me. So I'm gonna call some names out. I might have forgotten some guys. If you might know who they are that's not here, you can call their names out too to help me. First I'm gonna call Beaver, Walter Green, Clyde Parker, Pete McNeil, good God Almighty, recruited me to come here. Rudy Bell from New Jersey. Ham, I was the best man in his wedding. Chico, we were freshmen together. And these guys, the first guys that came in here from Philly. Butch T and Amps. and the strongest manager we ever had, Crazy Dwight Underhill. And now I'd like to introduce you to the Hall of Fame coaches that are no longer here, that I had opportunity to share and brainstorm about this game. Dr. Jones, who was my first coach here, Biggie we used to call him. Charlie Arnett, who introduced me to the Flying Three, that I killed my players with that Flying Three. Who also played at Grambling, maybe studied the films at Grambling. He'd always talked about how Grambling won the national championship, and I thought, wow, I wish we could ever do that. Then there was John Bates. My man came up from Eastern Shore. I remember we came down there and played Eastern Shore. It was a little physical game, but they were just like, I don't know what, but you know, we represent well. I had to take out his point guard, but you know, that's what I had always did anyway. Francis James was, my best friend. A hard player. And Leslie Dennis, we call him Todd, who volunteered and helped our players out with whatever I need them to do. And administrators that were always supportive of me when I was here at Coppin. Ron DeSouza gave me the idea or the chance to develop this program because I put wrestling to the school, a track program to the school, soccer to the school when we petitioned to go to Division I. And administrators, I would never be grateful more than say about Charles Wright, the Vice President of Institutional Advancement and the National President of Phi Beta Sigma, fraternity that I belong to and I love.
You Phi?
Dean Bynes, the man who told me for my junior year I got taught of school here, and I said, man, I'm going to drop out of here, man. He said, you ain't dropping out of nowhere. Take you behind us to the gym and start shoot some baskets. And I never knew that Dean Bynes was a Tuskegee Airman. He was such a polished, cool guy. It was unbelievable stuff I had. And now, I'd just like to say thank you to my family and members and friends and people that support me. First, I'd like to say, my parents are not here no more. I was the son of a gypsy. I lived all over West Baltimore. Grandmother raised me with some very strong principles. Whew. Wish she was here to see this now. But I was a point guard. You know, point guards do, they tell you, they run the show for your team and so forth. Tell you what to do. And guess what? I married a point guard. So I am not even telling nobody what to do. I'm two guard now. I love my wife, she take care of me like I'm so proud of her. She just don't know. My daughter, Shantae, that I'm so proud of. Man, this is real hard, y'all, I'm telling you. Because the love I've known with people in this arena right now, that I grew up with, that I had something to touch with, I just feel the blessing. It's unbelievable, the spirit that I feel right now. And I thank you for being my friend and support. My son Douglas, that I love. My son Alibe, I love. Sean, I love. James, my son-in-law. Man, I'm so proud of you, just don't know. And you don't get a chance to say this enough, because you know, tomorrow ain't promised you. But I'm so glad to have these good people in my life who just don't understand. Wife gave me his tissue. Excuse me, y'all.
That's all right, honey. Take your time.
My daughter-in-law, Michelle, down in Florida. She's mad because she couldn't make it. What a great job she did with Sean and my grandson, Kyle. I can't believe the things she did to keep our family together. I'm so proud of her. Then there's my god sisters, Denise and Bella. Two beautiful girls that accept me in their heart. And I was adopted to their family when they were 10 years old, 10 and 11. And I just protect those girls till the day I die. Valerie ended up bringing me a nephew, Elliot, that I'm so proud of. Young man went to boys' lab, was on top of his class in boys' lab. Then he went on to Connie Green Mellon, come out of there with green. Man, you don't know how proud I am. Because that struggle that you had to go through, and you withstood that, you're going to be all right. Now is my grandchildren, my oldest one, Dallas Carter. I'm so proud of her. 2 degrees from Stevenson University. I remember when we should sit down in the basement and watch it. I'm watching basketball game because you know I'm addicted to basketball. I've been a junkie for 60 years. Proud of her. And she would be over in the corner playing with her little tea set, watching the games with me. I'm so proud of her. And Kyle, my grandson in Florida, graduated from a film cook, all MEAC, 2 MEAC championships, you know, baseball, because with my baseball coach at Coppin. Well, yeah, there you go, yeah. Remember I showed you the little rings? Yeah. He always said, he said he always tough. See, you know, when you come from a winning family, that's what we do, we produce champions. And we got a lot of champions in this room today. Then there's Austin, my youngest grandson, now attending Chapel Gate. I'm so proud of him. He failed to realize he got a long way to go to get where everybody's been. And I hope he meets that task. And his mother, Danielle, who's doing a great job getting him prepared for the next world. And I hope that Austin realized that he's got to lean on the support from his family. And everybody's here for him. But I have to say this about a lady that's here. This lady saved my life. Because when I was at Coppin, I had an anger problem. And some of my ball players say, you know that. Because I ain't mind fighting. Because you know, when you play defense on people, they don't really like that. And you're frustrated. But you know, we like playing D. My teams like playing D, and that's what we did. Take your heart. But this lady, Miss Edna Smith, opened her heart to me. Family to me. Her husband, Jimmy Smith. What a man. I used to come over her house and she feed me. She fed the team. Tell them, come on in. And I used to come to Jimmy and talk about how I was mad about something. And he would sit back and say to me, hey, it's going to be all right. He was so cool and laid back. And look at me and say, why are you angry, man? Hey, you have no control over it. Don't worry about it. What a great guy. But Miss Edna, I don't know where that hope comes from, but you know what? It's about giving back. If you ain't about helping each other, you don't belong here. And everybody here is about helping each other. That's what I like about us, our Coppin people. I mean, we're just so tight. And I look at the guys that came here after me, that came from out of town. There must be something about this place, because you ain't go back to where you came from. So, it ain't that bad. So I just like to thank them. And then, some of my best friends, I want to say, this gentleman, Vance Young. Vance Young and I played together. Could you stand for me, please, Vance? You're younger than me, but we played together through high school, unlimited basketball. We were always on the same team and we won. Billy Wright, who introduced me to Phi Beta Sigma fraternity. Billy Wright, would you stand? And he's a Hall of Fame. Would you stand up for me? Now I'm going to go to my assistant coaches. Joe Cup, Bill Chris, and a young assistant that was learning under me, Rick Evan, to sit back in. And a teammate that's here, Stan Brown. But before I get to all that, I'm going to talk about a little bit about golf though for a minute. man in here that I admire and taught me the attitude and how to dress as a golfer. This man got the smoothest, sweetest swing I ever seen in my life. I pressed a lot of golf. And I try to, see, I'm a visual learner, so I try to just get a piece of this. This man is right over here, Al Lawrence, one of the smoothest players I ever met in my life. Thank you, Al, for being us. But you know, I got one more thing to say. I got a few more things to say. I got one more thing. I'd like to say, some young men in here that played with me, and under the league out here, I'm not even going to ask you to stand, but I'm going to call your names out. Tony Carter is my little brother. Eric King, Eddie Taylor, Joe Carr, Vance. We played, I'll tell you, we home ball in the city.
Take your time.
So you know, people say, man, how you know so many people? Well, we won everything involved in. We went to Pennsylvania, we went to Napa. I mean, it was a treat playing with these guys. Woo! And in fact, I recruited these guys to come to Coppin. And any of those guys that came in from out of town, I had to kind of touch them away. Eddie ended up staying with me for a while when he came in. So, thank you guys for being close friends of mine. But I want to tell you how I got to Coppin State College. Just bear with me for a minute. I was at Forest Park High School. Came out of Forest Park, was the leading school. I was recruited by Lincoln University. It just went co-ed. Imagine what used to be all push. Just went co-ed. You know how long ago it is. I'm old school. Lincoln and North Carolina A&T. Visit both schools, liked A&T, made a verbal commitment to A&T. It was three guys that me and Coppin played in Coppin. Kept telling me, man, you got to come up here with us. You got to help us out, help us out. And that was Pete McNeil. I made Pete just stayed on my case about coming to Coppin. Beaver, Walter Green. So I came to my first homecoming game. Standing room only. The fire department came in and said, you let another person in there, you got to shut the game down. That's how our homecomings used to be. Unbelievable. So I wasn't recruited by Coppin because I didn't know if Coach Jones recruited anybody. He might have recruited you, but you was from Eastern Shore down southern Maryland, but you was his boy. So you know, he didn't recruit the Baltimore guys. We just came on up here. And it was so nice to find a place that would just accept you and take you in. And they were so concerned about you graduating. That was unbelievable, the love that they shared with you. And what I ended up doing was passing that same love down to these guys here that came after me. That was a great feeling to see them graduate too. So after coming to chose Coppin, come to Coppin, I came in and I ended up majoring in special education and became a member of Phi Beta Sigma fraternity. What a great organization. After being here and graduating, I went on to teaching. I went to a special ed school. I was an adaptive PE teacher. And a Hall of Fame coach out of Morgan named Pete Pompey he was teaching at Emerson, came and asked me to come up here and coach the JV team. That was my first year coaching basketball. I went to Emerson High School. In 3 years, I won the JV championship. It's called the Civic Center there. And at the same time, I was coaching the Special Olympics, and we won the Maryland Special Olympic Championship. Special need kids. That was just a treat. I left the high school and went to Towson State University. I was the first black assistant at Towson State University when they first put Division I underneath of Vince A. Guy. And that's where I ended up meeting Brown, Fang, and all them when I recruited some of their players. Then I came back home. I came back home and I became assistant director of athletics underneath of Ron DeSouza. And we tried to figure out what way we were going to do to come out of Division II to go to Division I. And I went up to Towson for a guy named Joe McMullen, who used to be the AD at Notre Dame. And I did some studying under for him and learned how to petition for Division I. And that's how we became Division I. So at that time period, our women's basketball team was struggling. So the AD asked me, would I take over the team? And I said, sure. It was a hard task because when I first took over the team, they were beating us like I don't know what. I mean, they laughed at us. One coach from Coppin, I'll never forget it. Melvin White. At halftime of the game, he would go out to the lobby, eat 2 hot dogs and drink a Pepsi. And would come back in until he finished his chips. That got to me. So I did some recruiting. I went out to Woodlawn High School, got a young lady named Vanessa, and 3 other players off our team. So we came in, we started to get a little better. Then I went to New York, and I went all over the place getting players and put this thing together. Good Lord have mercy. Girl, guys, this team, could y'all stand up there and give them? I'm so proud of you. When you get beat up, why you come back out the cut? You beat up like that, you come and win this thing. So, I want to thank everybody here, thank my team, and when I look around this room, I see people who have supported me and always been in my corner. Give me one more thing. I just want to say this to you. Somebody give him a glass of water, but I'm just going to say this. Thank you. I appreciate you. I love you.
Player in Coppin State baseball history. He was the 1996 MEAC Player of the Year and a first-team All-MEAC selection after he led the Eagles to a Northern Division championship. He developed a reputation for being one of the top players in the conference the year prior, as he was named the MEAC Tournament MVP, as he led Coppin to its first and only MEAC championship and his first NCAA tournament appearance. He was second-team All-MEAC recipient that season, leading the league in wins with 8, 83 strikeouts, and second in home runs with 8 and RBIs with 40. His 14 complete games led all of NCAA Division I, and he still owns the conference record for innings pitched, the school record for pitching appearances, games started, wins, complete games, strikeouts, home runs. He also sits in Coppin's top 10 in RBI, doubles, walks, and slugging percentage. Ladies and gentlemen, our first inductee, Mr. Brian Pisani. He will be presented by his head coach and a Hall of Fame inductee in 2014, Mr. Jason Booker.
Will play the sport that someday you will be inducted to a Hall of Fame. Today, the dream comes true for Brian Pisani. If I had to choose one word to describe his fabulous career, the word would be exceptional. Had them all topless, which is evident by leading the nation to completed games pitched. In his 4-year career, he only missed 1 start as a pitcher. Leadership, he did not boast him. Brian led by his actions out on the playing field. He inspired others with his work ethic and with his indomitable competitive spirit. He exuded confidence, and he transmitted that quality to all of his teammates. He was a Brian's induction into the Coppin State College Athletic Hall of Fame.
I'm totally honored to be here. Coach, that's awesome and great. I appreciate it. Thank you. Much love, man. Much love. I told them when they was getting ordering this jacket, Ruffin was like, "What size you need?" I was like, "I don't know, a lot of X's." The last time. And I don't know which I like better, being honored to go in by myself or the team. And I truly think it's the team. I'm all about the team. I don't like talking about myself or my accomplishments. Stats are stats. I'm realistic. I know that I was a very good player in my head. And, I know there's fear by a lot of people, and I love playing, I love getting the ball as much as I could. I think what did it for me to solidify that I thought I was a really good player, me and Coach were talking the other day, wasn't all the wins and the strikeouts. It was showing up after the win at College Park the next time, and they threw out their #1 guy this time. He ended up being the number 15 pick in the Major League Draft. To me, that was respect. They weren't valuing Coppin as a lower end team and throwing out any guy just because they thought that we weren't valued enough to be on the field with them. We stepped to the plate every time. And we managed a bunch of wins. Very happy that we ended up winning the championship with everybody. And I'm truly honored to be here today. It's a great honor. I'd like to thank all my teammates that made it here today. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. Playing with you guys was just awesome. You guys taught me a lot.
Good morning, everyone. I'm here to fill my father's heavy compliments, even though he's a bum. My dad has been very influential in my life, and he has molded me into the person I am and becoming to be. Many of my life-changing experiences have come from him. I'm grateful I even have a relationship with him, unlike so many of my peers. He's accomplished a lot and has been given very little. For as long as I can remember, my dad has been great at basketball. There's no one I've met that is as passionate about basketball as him. I've heard countless stories of the crazy things he'd do to even get a chance to play. Ever since I was born, whether I liked it or not, my life revolved around basketball. Unfortunately, I'm a football guy myself, but I'm still around basketball because him and the sport come in a package. My dad is a great coach, as so far all the players of his I met loved him. My father's a hard worker at everything he does. I don't get to see him often, but every time I do, he inspires me to push through adversity. The only word I can use to describe how I feel about him right now is proud. I'm proud he's doing what he loves. I'm proud he's being inducted into the Coppin Hall of Fame. And I'm proud I didn't need help writing the speech.
Sydney Stewart. Before I ever stepped foot on Coppin's campus, I was known as Stu's little brother. Right. So I also was notorious for a couple of things. One was always being late for class or probably missing class. So we're here, I was getting a lot of phone calls from Coach Brown asking me, "Where you at? You late?" So I was thinking to myself, why should I start now with breaking tradition? So with that being said, tomorrow morning I'll see all you guys on the track at 6 o'clock. Because whenever we was late for practice or class, we always had to run. Thank you, Coach Brown, by the way. It took a long road to get here, and I had very humble beginnings. So there's a lot of people in my life that is going in the Hall of Fame with me today. Without them, I wouldn't be standing here with you guys. So my mom is pretty much known as the matriarch of my family. She did a lot. Ray, who was my assistant coach / father. Whenever we didn't have class, and Kyle can attest to this, we was in Coach Brown's office because he was always talking about life and philosophizing, and giving us a different way to think about our careers. And when basketball was over, what are you going to do with yourself? He was a great coach because he always drew plays up for me. He always would say, Mookie, where you want the ball at? So I thank you, Coach Brown, for always being there for me. I also want to thank everybody that's responsible for me being here, the Coppin State MEAC Hall of Fame Committee, Mr. Carter. They have been calling me for weeks. I kept saying this 951 number. I just kept sending it to voicemail. Kept sending it to voicemail. So finally one day, I answered. He was like, man, we've been trying to get you for a minute. I said, I didn't even realize it. I didn't check my messages, I didn't even realize it. So I want to thank you, because when the call came, I really was humble. I went to the MEAC Hall of Fame in 2011, which was special. But there's something about this one that's way more personal, because everyone here watched me grow up. Came on this campus as a snotty-nosed know-it-all. There was nothing that you could tell me about anything. And the people around here embraced me and helped me turn into the man that I am today. So I want to thank everybody. I also have my other son here, who is Stephen Jr., which is ironic because he's the total opposite of me. And that's fine. That's probably a good thing, actually. He is a young man of very few words.
2005, she was a member of the conference all-rookie team. She was named the 2005-2006 MEAC Tournament Most Valuable Player, and she led the Eagles to 3 NCAA tournaments in 2004, 2005, 2005 2006, and 2007-08, as well as a WNIT appearance during the 2006-2007 season, where they defeated St. Joseph's in the first round. Her 4 seasons, the Eagles win a combined 92 and 37 overall, with a 64-6 mark during MEAC play, with undefeated conference records and steals, as well as 7th in assists. Following her collegiate career, she was invited to WNBA camp, and she played professionally overseas. Here to present our next inductee, Rashida Suber, is her head coach, Derek Brown.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. This is a surprise to me that I'm presenting Rashida Suber for Hall of Fame. And Garrett, you said it all. I will say that very special player. Rashida came to us from Reading, Pennsylvania. She was brought to us by Kyle Lott. He recruited her. And thank you, Kyle, because the championships that we did win, she was involved in all 3 of them. I think she's the only player that was involved in all 3 of the championships. And we would have won a 4th, but our kids got sick during the tournament. And we lost to Morgan by 1 point in the semifinals. So it would have been 4 straight championships, but we did get 3. And Rashida Suber was a part of all 3 of them. Just a fantastic player. Last championship that we won, she made the game-winning basket with 4 seconds left. And it was a finger roll from a bad angle to the backboard. And she just finger rolled it off the backboard from about 6 feet out. Unbelievable shot. Unbelievable shot. She was involved in many tournament championships. other than the big tournament. We won the UMBC championship, where she came in off the bench, really didn't know how good she was her first year. She came off the bench and scored like 20 points to win the championship in the UMBC tournament. We went down to South Alabama and we won a tournament down there. And if you know anything about Christmas tournaments, the home team usually picks the worst team to play first. So we played the University of South Alabama first on their floor and beat them. And then the next day, we played, who was it? I know it was it was a SWAC team. So it was two, MEAC against the SWAC, Jackson State, and we beat Jackson State to win that tournament. We also went to, up in New York. It might not have been you.
Thank you. Thank you. Completely honored. Thank you, everybody.
Was named the NAIA Tournament Most Valuable Player, and he scored 43 points in the championship game victory over Henderson State, winning the game by a score of 96-91. They were coached by Hall of Famer John Bates, and members of the 1975-76 team include Joe Pace, Gary Tank Barnes, Ralph Blount, Earl Bundy, Hall of Famer Tony Carter, Don Evans, Arnold Graham, Mickey Hurd, Alan Johnson, Andrew Jones, Eric King, Derek Money, Charles Moore, Charles Pender, David Shepard, and Eddie Taylor. Ladies and gentlemen, present the members of the 1975-76 NAIA Championship basketball team. We are honored to have Miss Althea Bates.
National Basketball Championship team members who are here with us. Team led by my husband, the late John Bates, and the late Charlie Moore, finished the 1975-76 season, as has been said earlier, with a 39-2 overall record. Tournament was extremely grueling, in which 5 games were played in 6 days. In order to qualify, the team defeated George Mason to win the Region 19 title by a score of 120-80. They then traveled to Kansas City, where they defeated the following teams in this order: Dowling 78-55, Wisconsin Parkside 68-67, Texas Southern 88-77, Marymount 82-81. And as we know, they played against Henderson State in the final game, where the score was 96-91. And also, as said earlier, Joe Pace scored 43 points and was named the tournament's most valuable player. And the all-tournament team included Joe Pace and Tony Carter. In addition, I feel it is important to share with you that the team accomplished this feat by overcoming obstacles in reaching their goal. They did this without complaining or blaming the institution for its inability to provide the necessary resources, such as a certified trainer, a decent gym, adequate scholarships, etc. Without further ado, I would like to welcome these gentlemen. First, Gary Barnes, playmaker, and most vocal member of the team, and he still is. Harlem, New York. Next, David Mooney, shooting guard. Eastern Maryland. Eric King. Tony Carter, guard. My little brother. Eddie Taylor. Shooting guard, Philadelphia. And Donnie Evans, guard, Baltimore. For these gentlemen speak, I'd like to list the other team members. Joe Pady, center. David Shepard, forward. Alan Johnson, who is deceased, forward. Ralph Blunt, forward. Arnold Graham, also deceased, guard. And Warren Mickey Hurd, forward. Ladies and gentlemen, the 1976 National Championship team members.
All right.
This happened. Like she said, it's 46 years. 46 years. That's a long time. Now, could y'all bow your heads for Arnold Graham and Alan Johnson? We lost those two. Wish they could be here. Alan just passed away a couple of weeks ago. Now, like she said, you know, it wasn't easy for us. We didn't have dormitories, you know, food, or we had to struggle for ourselves. We came from out of town. First year we got here, the whole team was from out of town except for Jimmy Drew. So then Bates got together with the people in Baltimore. So we added some guys from Baltimore that made our team a little bit strong. First year in '75, we lost in the regionals to Millersville. We knew we wasn't going to win because when we stepped off the bus, the whole town was shut down. They had state troopers and everything lining the streets, lining the courts. They fouled Joe out in the first half. All right, they just let us know, y'all ain't winning up here. So we learned the lesson that we gotta be the home team. So George Mason had to come to Morgan State to play us because our gym was not big enough for an NAIA game. Now y'all all know George Mason, school out of Virginia, Division I, made it to the Finals 4, all right? We beat them so bad, there ain't nobody wanna play us. And before I go any further, we could always talk about the NAIA versus the NCAA. The NAIA is 2 years older than the NCAA. The NAIA had a 64-team field when it was created. The NCAA just started that. Some of the greatest players, black players, come out of the NAIA. When we were in Kansas City, it was players like Jack Sigler, Hall of Famer, down there, went home. Okay? A lot of guys that could really play. And when I'm from Harlem, and when I went to college, we was told you can go to the big school and get well taken care of. Or you can go to the black school and find out whether you can really play. All right? Now I went to West Texas State for 3 weeks, couldn't deal with it. I went to St. Mary's College, couldn't deal with it. Came here, had a good time, all right? Now, it ain't too much to say because they want me to hold it back, all right? Because, you know, I like the school, all of us like the school, that's why we came here. And for some of y'all don't realize that Eddie Taylor came here from University of Las Vegas, Nevada. Okay? Donnie Evans came here from University of Tennessee. Mickey Hurd came here from LSU. David Shepard came here from University of Washington. Okay, so it wasn't like, you know, we was no chumps. You understand? And we appreciate this, even though it took 46 years. I started to bring a record here by Sam Cooke. You know that record Sam Cooke got? That Obama played when he became president? So y'all enjoy yourself. We had a nice time. Don't forget about us, please. All right?
I didn't want him to go first. I didn't know when to stop. Thank you, Tank. I just want to say thank you. We appreciate it. Coppin State University, Athletic Director, President, for honoring us. I know it's taken a long time, but we're here, you know, and we're happy about it. Tank was talking about everybody going to another school. I was on my way down south. I'm going down south. I have my 2 bags in my arm, ready to catch the bus. Donnie Evans and Tank Barnes walks up. They got me under each arm, said, "Come on, man, where you going?" I said, I'm going down south. They said, "They're going to take care of me." They said, "No, you're not going down there. We talking to Coach Bates. They want you to be Coppin." I said, "But they're going to take care of me down south." They said, "They're going to take care of you here also." So I wound up here at Coppin State, and I got you. So, thank you, appreciate it.
The only freshman that was recruited to this team. So these guys, they helped me out a lot, and I really appreciate it. I really appreciate being around them at the time we played. I appreciate my son being here with me, and my 2 fraternity brothers in the back who make us high five fraternity. All right, all the way. So I'm just glad to be here. Thank everyone for, you know, acknowledging us. I really, really appreciate it. That's all.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I just want to thank God for this opportunity to be here. I want to thank the Hall of Fame, committee for putting this together. And I'm more than appreciated to be a part of this. I ain't gonna take long. I know y'all don't mind. I just want to talk from the heart real quick. I didn't go to the championship game up in Kansas City because I had, far as personal issue, and then my 44-year-old, he was in the hospital and he had double pneumonia. He was 3 weeks old in both his lungs. So I chose not to, to travel with the team during that time, right? But I just want to thank, Coppin. I learned a lot here. Before coming to Coppin, I attended the University of Tennessee. I left Virginia College, graduated from there, and I started out at Virginia Union University, my journey. Through all that, I ended up being a correctional officer in Maryland State Penitentiary, and I retired from the Baltimore City Fire Department. So all these experiences, right, and here at Coppin, right, and Coach Bates, he was real instrumental in my life during that time, So Coppin helped me to evolve in the individual that I am today. And that 3-week-old that had double pneumonia, he's the director of admissions at Hatfield School. That's a private school in Pennsylvania. He graduated from McDonald School, was the coach there for 14 years, and he also was in the Hall of Fame at Westchester University. So I'm so grateful. Process, I had grandkids. My oldest grandson graduated from the University of Maryland with a degree on May the 20th in accounting. So he graduated from McDonald School to assistant and ready to graduate as a senior. So I'm just glad just to have the opportunity to be playing with these guys. I ain't mean to talk that long. I love a podium, excuse me, right? So I just want to talk that because I just really feel I'm so that, feel honored that, y'all gave me this opportunity to be a part of, this championship team in Coppin State College, right, university now. So I want to thank y'all for listening. I just wanted to talk from my heart. Thanks for giving me this opportunity again to the committee of being a part of the inductees. And I'd like to say congratulations to all inductees for the day.
Good morning, Derek. I'd like to thank you for
acknowledging this team and making the day what it is. So we as a team, again, would like to say thank you. As everyone said, it was a long time coming. My name is Eddie Taylor from Philadelphia, and didn't get my start here, as was mentioned before. I got started at Nevada, Las Vegas, and I remember a long time ago, Oscar Robertson, they asked him about how it was at the University of Cincinnati. He said it was great being there, but when he came back years later, he was not known. When I came here to Coppin, it was just an entirely different situation. It was just like home. People treated you like family, and I have my son and my daughter here. Thank you, guys.
And you just heard from the national championship team. But we want to congratulate everyone, and it's really important that people are acknowledged. It's really important that athletic accomplishments are acknowledged, and the fact that everyone got a chance to share. I love hearing the stories. Everyone had the opportunity to share the story and really talk about how others were part of this journey. And that's really what it's about. Nobody up here made it by themselves. So